Good morning. So, I don't know if you can see that, but the windows are all full of condensation. That's one thing I definitely don't like about running the buddy heater. So I had to run the buddy heater last night because every so many months this stovepipe gets creosote buildup. And I noticed yesterday when I was opening the stove door, smoke started barreling out. What happens is creosote falls down this pipe sometimes after it builds up, and it sits right here in the opening, and which doesn't allow the smoke to exit out of the chimney pipe near as much. So today I'm going to attempt to get that pipe off by myself, cleaned out and put back on again, which I haven't done before by myself. So it's going to be interesting anyway. But if I can get this thing off, I'll show you what I mean by the creosote buildup. I'm going to guess that it's right down here. That's usually the problem. I cleaned the outside of the chimney yesterday all the way up. So I'm pretty sure it's in this pipe itself that the problem lies. So yeah, the buddy heater's great for quick heat when you need it. I do have an onboard furnace that works too, but it actually eats more propane than the buddy heater, I believe. The only downfall is with this source of heat, like, you get so much condensation on the windows and it just runs. I don't know. I'm not a fan. The wood heat, everything's so dry and you never have condensation on the windows like that. Right, Ramsey? Ramsey? Yeah, okay. So last night it was just above freezing, and the buddy heater definitely kept things warm enough in here for the night. I just had it on low. If I had it on high, it would be even warmer, but just kept it on low just to, well, not freeze basically. So, but I'm looking forward to getting this pipe off and cleaned so I can go ahead and start making fires again. But like I said, this thing has been great. It was a great Christmas gift. I use it all the time. Like if I wake up early morning hours and it's cold in here because the wood stove had gone out, the fire, I'm sorry, had gone out, go ahead and I just throw this thing on. I usually just have a small bottle on here that I use, but because I knew I was going to be running it all night last night, I brought in a 20-pound propane tank and just hooked it up. So yeah. Okay, so I just removed the pipe, and this is what I wanted to show you. As I removed the pipe, all this creosote fell down the pipe, and this was the problem. All this creosote was falling down the pipe before and sitting in here in the opening. So the smoke wasn't really able to escape as easily, which is why when I opened the door, the smoke came barreling out. So yeah, not so fun. I do love wood heat, but it is annoying every so many months having to clean out your pipes. But if you don't, you get chimney fires, because that happened before, last year on Christmas Day. And not fun, a little scary, but yeah, so I like to keep on top of things. The minute I notice smoke barreling out, I definitely have to take the pipe off and clean the pipes out a little bit. Well, I went ahead and cleaned all that creosote out of there. And while I was at it, I cleaned the eco fan. That gets really dusty just from, well, basically it spins constantly when I have a wood fire. So I don't really have the opportunity to clean it often, but now that it's not moving, I went ahead and cleaned the fans on it. And if you don't know what that is, there's a motor in there. So it sits on top of your wood stove, and the heat makes makes the blades turn. And it just pushes the heat further down the room. So I also went ahead and cleaned the glass in the door. For whatever reason, that likes to turn black on me. So every so often I just take a glass scraper and scrape all the black off the glass so you can see through it. Not sure why it does that. I bought this wood stove secondhand for $100, and I did actually have the rope redone around the door and everything, but for whatever reason it's still, the glass still blackens. So I do clean that almost daily, really. Okay, so I took the chimney, or the stovepipe, outside and cleaned it out with a chimney brush, and I managed to get it back on there myself. Was it easy? No. But I did it. It's on there. Let's hope it's on there correctly. It looks right. So I'm going to go ahead and make a fire in here because it's starting to get chilly now that I shut off the buddy heater. And nothing beats wood heat, man. So we've got a good fire going in here now. I just leave the door cracked just a little bit so that the fire can really take off. And then I'll go ahead and close the door, and eventually I'll close the draft. But it's going really good now. Rory likes it too. Starting to warm up in here finally. It's definitely nice. So I gotta say, just even spending one night without a fire, I missed it. You know, the buddy heater did the trick, but I definitely missed having a wood fire last night. It's just a different kind of warmth. When it comes to heat, in my opinion anyway, I don't think anything really beats wood heat. Especially in these drafty, you know, not well insulated RVs. So all in all, my choice of heat would be wood heat, but they are messy. You've got wood over here that you have to drag in, and you get pieces of it laying all over the place. Rory thinks he wants to eat pieces of wood. Rory! Psst. What are you doing, you weirdo? Anyway, yeah, it can be messy, and like I said, the taking the pipe off and having to clean it can be a pain in the ass, but it's worth it in my opinion. There's just, like I said, it's a different kind of heat. Nothing can really compare. And the condensation in the windows is finally, slowly starting to go away. Yeah, that's one of my least favorite things about burning propane. Yeah, so now that that's done, I've got to go ahead and do something that you won't want to come along for, and that is dump the composting toilet. Camper, sauna, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, this is what having a wood stove in your camper can look like. And believe it or not, it's actually been warmer in here than that. Crazy, eh?